All right, so our next step, we're going to open up Prusaslicer. Best way to open anything in Windows is Windows key and type the program, so PRUA, and enter to launch the top answer. It's going to be a second for it to load. I'm now going to take and add object, the cube plus button. So this cube plus one will add an object. We'll add the cat. Now, in Prusaslicer, I can zoom in and out with my mouse wheel. I can right click and drag to orbit, or I can left click and drag to pan. So now if I look at this is our printer bed, and there's the object. So that's 4 minutes, but our size is half an inch tall. Oh, well, half an inch tall. If you look at it, this is tiny. And even if I bring our quality up, that tail doesn't look good. So one option is to make it bigger. I can go to my scale, and I can do a scale factor like at 200%, or pick a size. I'm gonna make this 2 inches tall. Sorry about that. Now, if I go back to my preview, that looks solid. Now let's look at this cat. And the first thing I'm noticing is that his chin hangs over nothing. So I'll probably get a little drooping there, but there's a bigger problem, and it's the tail. If I go look at this tail, there's a huge problem. This point here is lower than any point above it. And what I mean is, if we go through the model, let's look at slice by slice. This drops down, looks here. So our first layer, A, doesn't look good. There's only 2 little dots here for the paws, and then a small for the butt. And it builds up. So these paws are almost nothing holding the build platform. So I could do supports, build platform only. And now I have some support there. Now let's walk through. So it's going up, supporting the tail, everything looks good, But all of a sudden, this pot right here comes out of nowhere. This dot has to be drawn in midair, and that can't be done. I could go and change my settings to supports everywhere, but now I'm going to have to remove that support without breaking the tail, and that's going to be almost impossible. So this model is not great for printing. It's not a good model. So we're going to take and delete that. Let's look at our second model. So our second model, nope, wrong one. Here's the second cat. Now, our print time is 12 hours. So let's turn the quality down to 0.3 because all the walls are straight up and down. So there's really no point in doing a higher quality. Sometimes you get a smaller bead with those things, but we're still at 3 hours. This is kind of big. So it's 5 inches by 4.5 inches by an inch thick. So I had a couple options. If I want it big, but just take less time, I could scale the whole thing down. So let's make this a 3-inch maximum size. And look at it. The whiskers still look good. That looks okay. Yeah, that looks fine. Now we're down to 1 hour and 4 minutes. Another option, if I go back to my model view, I can undo. Instead, I can unlock this and make it maybe just a 1/4 inch thick, 0.25. So now it's less tall, but still scaled in the same direction. And I have 1 hour long, but it's going to be bigger, but it will just be flat. And the model, the slice view, is not going to show me very much because it's pretty much just straight up and down. First layer looks fine, and just build straight up from there. So there's 2 options to make that acceptable. If I'm happy, I can hit export G code. But I'm going to wait because I'm going to show you one more possibility, which is the flexible cat, and I'll do it in the next video.